Welcome to League 2 Match Week Review. It's Match Week 32 and we've got a lot coming up for you, including Wrexham's woes carry on to haunt them as it make it 3 losses from the last 3, and Stockport seems to be going back in the right direction again, and could they win the league this season? Now we are kicking things off in League 2 with Notts County versus Gillingham. As you can see, my prediction was wrong, but let's have a look to why that was the case. Now, as you can see, Notts County dominated a lot of the stats, but the ones that mattered, they didn't. Now, if you can see, 72% possession, but they had the same amount of chances as Gillingham. Well, it's really a tale between two different styles. You could automatically see what Gillingham were trying to do when they put Ollie Hawkins up front as that target man to try and win the knock-ons and the knockdowns. And you can see that sort of worked when he got the first goal for Gillingham, obviously. And I think Notts County just didn't quite convert enough chances or create enough chances. And that is ultimately what led to them having a lot of useless possession in a way, and Gillingham being much more clinical. Now, as you can see, I got this prediction completely wrong. I thought Wrexham would bounce back from their recent struggles and defeat Bradford with relative ease. But as you can see, it was a complete opposite on the script. Well, I think Wrexham will be a bit hard done by with the fact that they had a lot more possession and a lot more total shots. But what we can see with this is the quality of shots that they were having weren't quite as good as Bradford, and their ability to convert those total shots into shots on target wasn't good either. And despite having only 37% possession, Bradford were just having a lot more productivity with the possession that they had, and that shows in the total shots on target and the scoreline. So I think Wrexham will need to have a good look at themselves if they want to change for Tuesday night. Now, this prediction I was very close to being spot on, just one goal in it, but I got the general idea. However, if we take a look at the stats, it doesn't really show that Newport should have dominated this game, but 3 first half goals definitely helped them on their way, as they only missed 2 shots on target, or the goalkeeper for Walsall only saved 2 shots all game. Now, Walsall, despite having been a man down, they definitely dominated the overall flow of the game, just couldn't quite convert those total shots into shots on target, and that is a theme that we are seeing quite a lot at the minute, in terms of the team that are losing at the minute have more possession, more total shots, but just aren't being clinical enough, and that was definitely a difference today in this one. On to Swindon versus Salford, where I predicted a Salford win. I wasn't too far off, but 2 late goals really changed the script here at their county ground, where Swindon took the lead late on and thought they'd won it, but in extra time, Salford managed to bag an equaliser. And if you look at the stats, Swindon will feel very hard done by here, as they dominated the possession, they dominated the shots on target, and they dominated the total shots, and the quality of shots also went Swindon's way. Everything pointed towards a Swindon win, but Salford managed to nick a late goal, and they'll definitely be the happier of the two sides after this game. But a lot of confidence Swindon can take from this type of performance. Just have to be a little bit more clinical in front of goal, and credit to Salford's keeper today. Now on to Morecambe versus Sutton, where it was a very close game like I anticipated, but to be fair, I think on the quality of chances created, Morecambe just about edged it and deserved to edge it as well. Overall, Sutton had more of the ball but did a lot less with it, had the same amount of chances, but again, when it comes down to being clinical and taking your chances, seems to be a theme in League 2 at the minute, and it's definitely the case here. I think Morecambe will be very happy to take 3 points from this game. Sutton can take positives from it, but again, need to work on being in that final third and taking the shots, and when they do take those shots, making sure that they are good shots on target. If you are enjoying the video so far and would like to see more content along the similar lines, please make sure to like and subscribe so I know that you guys are enjoying it and so you don't miss ones in the future. On to Stadium MK, where a late winner was required for MK Dons to take all 3 points. But for a large portion of the game, they were behind. I thought they would struggle in this game. In fact, I thought they would lose. But on balance, they probably were deserved winners, dominating all of the stats. And I think anything other than a win for MK Dons would not have been a fair result. So can't really have too many complaints around this one. MK Dons, they created a lot of chances. In the end, they took them, and deserved winners in my opinion. So over to Harrogate versus Colchester. Well, I wasn't too far away with this prediction. I thought Harrogate would win, but I thought it'd be a little bit more comfortable. As you can see, the stats are very even on the possession front. But other than that, it's very much towards Colchester until you get down to shots on target. And this is where, for me, the game was won and lost them. I know they lost the game very late on in the game because neither side could really take any chances. But Colchester having 25 shots and only 5 on target is criminal, and that for me is where they've lost the game today. They shouldn't even be in the position where a last-minute winner was on the cards. They should have had this game wrapped up and won the game. But that is really poor, and again, it's another theme of clinicality in League 2 showing its face. Again, a team that has had more shots, more expected goals, has lost the game. On to Grimsby versus Stockport, where my prediction doesn't actually look that far away, especially at half-time where Stockport were 3-0 up. But obviously, Grimsby saved face in the second half, got that goal back to make it look a little bit better. But if we take a look at the actual stats, it should never have been that way in the first place. The stats were pretty 50-50, apart from on shots on target and expected goals, which measures the quality of chance that you're having. And in there, Stockport dominated. So again, what we are seeing is that clinicality and creating proper chances is being what won the game here for Stockport and won it convincingly for them. And this could be another win for them, another step closer to being in League 1. Well, another big scoreline in League 2, probably another undeserved one where Mansfield ran out 4-0 winners against Forest Green Rovers. But again, we look at the stats and it just wasn't a 4-0 game. Forest Green Rovers were probably the better side, had more shots, but again, less shots on target, and it's just being clinical. Mansfield had a lot less shots, but more on target, and they put 4 away. On another day, it could have been 2-1 to Forest Green Rovers, but it wasn't. Mansfield went out 4-0 winners, and trouble is surely on the horizon for Forest Green Rovers as a football club, as they look in tatters at the minute. Something's going to have to change again there, but I can't see them staying up this season, if I'm being brutally honest. On to another very even game, one that I thought was going to end in a draw, and one that probably should have ended in a draw. I think Crawley will feel very hard done by to come away from Crewe with 0 points. Crewe, on the other hand, will be delighted to have got all 3 points today. As you can see, everything was fairly similar. Crawley maybe edging out the shots on target, but Crewe having more expected goals, so that's a better quality of chance. And they had their one shot on target. They took it. There's not much more you can really say about that. Crewe delighted with this one. Obviously, my prediction was very, very wrong. We move on to Plough Lane, where Wimbledon hosted Barrow and won the game 2-0, despite not looking very good. If we look at the stats, Barrow are actually the team that probably should have won this game, or at least should have drawn the game. They had the better quality chances, same amount of shots and more ball possession, but just didn't do as much with it. I think Wimbledon was just clinical finishing again. Goals from Ronan Curtis and Bougiel. I predicted a Curtis double. He only got one, but still a good day out for him and a good day out for Wimbledon. Barrow can feel hard done by here, and it sees them slip lower down the league. Now for the final time, on to Tranmere, and they faced Doncaster at Doncaster, and they end up losing the game 2-1, although the stats would suggest this was an unfair result. But again, 4 shots, 3 on target, 2 goals for Doncaster is a lot better than Tranmere's record in front of goal. And I think that is what won them the game, in all honesty, because every other stat would suggest that Tranmere were the better side. But again, just because you have possession doesn't mean you win football matches. I think Doncaster will be very pleased with that performance and can take a lot of confidence from it. So, obviously, Stockport County remain at the top of the league, Mansfield shortly behind them, and Barrow just below that, and that makes up our 3 automatic promotion spot. Wrexham dropped down 8 out of it into the playoffs. Crewe, MK Dons and Gillingham make up the rest of our playoff teams. And all the way down the bottom of the league now, Forest Green Rovers still sit bottom of the league. Sutton United make up the other relegation candidate at the minute. Doncaster with a huge win today puts them a little bit more breathing room despite going lower down the league. So that rounds things up. I got 0 predictions right this week in terms of the score, but I got quite a few of the actual results right. But anyway, let me know how you got on this weekend, and I'll see you in the next one.